Hey guys, Rob here from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Gonna start dismantling my entertainment stand in preparations for winter time use of my fireplace. So, like I said in an earlier video, TV's coming home and a bunch of stuff's coming home actually. But the entertainment stand has to go, and that's just the way it is. So, we're going to start moving this out of here. I will put this remote in my pocket, move my TV. Thankfully this is a light TV, so it's not killer. Get rid of the remote here. Now where this is going to go is kind of up in the air as well. So I gotta, and then obviously the elliptical is going to get moved over against the wall again, just so I have a better view of the fireplace and get everything situated. First I'll get rid of this monster 120 volt conditioner, power conditioner. Okay, tucked him back, and I will now attempt. Okay, that's the electrical wire. This guy is for the fan, and then I'll just push back the 120 volt power pack there, or receptacle I should say, and we'll move my elliptical back a ways and figure out what I'm gonna, where is this table gonna go. That's gonna be the trick. So we'll move my elliptical. Oh. Which is not light, by the way. Not very light anyway. Okay, elliptical is moved. Sorry I didn't film that. There it is. Over there. 120 volt cord in the corner. Should I... Maybe I'll just turn this thing sideways for now. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it. Not the best option. Not really. Okay. My table go crazy there. Okay, that's, I guess, half decent. So let me grab the camera, show you guys what happened. So we got the bed, we got the elliptical, we got wooden table, and the fireplace. I should move the wooden table back a tad more. Because I think I have the clearance for my elliptical. Hopefully. What? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we're good. I can even move it a little bit further. Just a bit. Okay. Whoa, is my table falling apart? Yes, it is. Thought it looked weird. Not good. That needs a screw for sure. Okay, so that's a little bit better for the meantime. That table is kind of bold. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. I keep talking about this device coming from Wish. It's going to make the tiny house a lot more organized and neater if it ever gets here. Knowing Wish, it'll be a few months. That's a good thing though, because if I get it free, that'll save me like 60 bucks. So this device is a box. It's a large master control box for 12 and 24 volt equipment. Mostly made for boats. I want to mount this thing somewhere on the wall where it will be my main dedicated control for the entire tiny house concerning 12 volt items. Lights, ceiling fans. I mentioned all this before. It also has a 12 volt cigarette plug. Now, you guys heard me mention I'm going to try to save up for a 12 volt television rather than my 120 volt over there. So it will give me access to longer use time without draining my batteries down. More efficient. Directly off a 12 volt, no inverter needed, which is key. And this main control switch, getting back to that, will have a 12 volt cigarette plug, which I can then plug the television into. The other thing I wanted to get is a bracket, a wall bracket for the TV, so I can swivel it different directions and still have it connected to my master switch control board, which has a cigarette plug. So I'll run the television cord and it will be dedicated into that master control, and my TV will be powered from there. So 12 volt. It's got the one I'm looking at has a built-in DVD player, which is awesome. I'm trying to find one that is a decent size, has the built-in DVD player, that's 12 volt. No, another ant. Die. They're coming back, and that's not good. I'm gonna have to get more ant traps. Die, ant, die. That's number 2 now, guys. That's concerning. That is bad. I'm out of ant traps too, because I put them all out. They looked like they were poison though. They're moving very slow, so maybe the ant traps are still working. Ha. Anyway, being interrupted by pests. Yeah, so the master control will be somewhere, centralized in the tiny house. It'll control my lighting, my ceiling fans, my televisions. It also has a battery display. It will tell me the voltage of my battery through the controller, and it has like 8 switches on it for different loads, 8 different loads as well. Awesome. However, I'm going to need Stu's help once I get this thing, or anybody else that's a subscriber, to tell me what size wire I will need to run it. Now, this is all 12 volt, remember, but I'm going to have some, the TV's going to be a significant load. I would imagine it'll be a couple amps for sure. The ceiling fans maybe 1 to 2 amps. The lights, not nada, right? So the TV, the ceiling fans, blah, 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 right? We want to make sure I size appropriately so I don't get any hot wires. I want to have oversized wires leading to the 12 volt master control, because it's going to have about 8 switches, and from there it's kind of like a master control panel for the tiny house. So I can click a switch, ceiling fan comes on, click another switch, a light comes on, click my remote, TV comes on, and I can also monitor right from that switch what my battery that will be feeding it voltage is still. So I can maintain everything. It'll clean up a lot of the wiring, as far as I know. Now, obviously this thing has to be put, I have to build a box for this thing to go into. Then I have to run all the load wires into it and the power wires. And so that's going to be a chore. So it's kind of imperative that I kind of get that thing before I even do the ceilings. So it's kind of working out that I didn't put the ceilings up yet, because then I'd be fishing wires. If I can get it somewhat put together in a box, mounted, organize my wires up in like a conduit or something, or a few conduits where it doesn't look ugly as hell, then that will go up into the ceiling. I can even tape the wires to the ceiling until the ceiling is up, and then at least they're out of the way and I can easily, you know, work with them. So that's the key, guys. I want to get a nice wall mount for this 12 volt TV that I'm saving up for, which they're not cheap, by the way. And that way I can swivel it different directions in the tiny house, which is awesome for the elliptical and for different viewing positions. Maybe I'm cooking, want to keep watching, I can swivel something, swivel this thing and maybe watch from an angle. And then wherever I position the elliptical, I just move the TV to face. Awesome. A hell of a lot better than moving this big bulky table that I made out of the scrap of the tiny house build. It's not on wheels either, that table. It sucks. But anyway, it'll make things a lot more streamlined and cleaner in the tiny house too, which is key. It'll cut down on my, you know, wires running everywhere and all that crap. So we don't need any of that. We'll figure it out. Anyway, so that's the plan, guys. Oh, this has to be loaded over to the doorway as well. Lots of stuff coming with me back to the house. Now, why are you moving all this stuff out of the tiny house? Are you not going to be here or for the winter or what? So, obviously, that's a question mark. I'm crazy busy with work right now. What's that have to do with not living in the tiny house? Nothing. Not really. Don't worry. I will be back at the tiny house doing my videos. It's not like I'm disappearing. I want to see this winter how the tiny house now performs with the survival blankets. Obviously, it's done incredible so far, and these things are dirt cheap. Highly recommend, if you guys are building a shed, a tiny house, and if you even want to hell, put them in your own house if you want. I don't care, it's your house, right? As long as you cover them up like with wall panels like I did. Even covering the survival blankets up, they still work, guys. As long as, you know, they're covering the wall top to bottom. And then I can't wait until I get them up in the ceiling to complete this and then see the test for real. That's going to be insane. I think I'm on to something here with these survival blankets. And these were recommended to me. Well, okay. Here's where things get tricky before I say anything. High Tech Guy 18, Stu, longtime subscriber. He's the one who told me about the radiant barrier technology. He told me I should be getting this stuff, bubble wrap, that's been coated in that silver stuff there that you can see in the crack. That's Mylar. This stuff is expensive. That's already done up in the Mylar, but it's well worth it if you can afford it. Use it. However, I found an alternative method. This was an experiment, guys. I didn't even think this was going to work. I bought a bunch of dollar store survival blankets, hung them up, About 40 bucks worth to do the whole tiny house except the bathroom. And so far so good. So I found a cheap alternative to getting the bubble wrappy stuff. Though my alternative doesn't give me an R value, though it sure as hell keeps the heat and cool in. I'll tell you that, just with the Mylar. This stuff, if you're doing a new build, try to get this stuff that's bubble wrap with that looks like it's silver coated, which is the Mylar. I think Reflectix is one of the brands that I've seen. The stuff's expensive, well worth it though. If you're in a caravan, van dweller, RV, whatever, you get that stuff. It will beat fiberglass any day of the week. Make the investment, get it. So there's my little plug for you, Stu. Because he's the one who kind of, I call him the brain, my new nickname for him. He's into all this stuff. He's the electronics whiz. He knows all the new tech. I go to him. He's my advisor, you could say. You go to him, and please check out his channels, guys. He's got a lot of good YouTube channels for himself. He's working on his own off-grid solar, or it's actually, well, it's off-grid / grid tie because he wants to kill. He lives in the UK, and the electric bills over there, guys, are insane. You think we're paying high in Canada? You just go talk to Stu, okay? He'll put you right. So anyway, yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. I want to get everything, get the tiny house back in order again, start building again. I know it's been a while since I've done anything in here, but what I've done was I did take the whole thing apart and put that survival blanket up, and this made quite a difference. So I want to see how the fireplace now performs this year compared to last. Now with the survival blankets up, I'm guessing it's gonna do real well. And I want to see how my solar power performs. This will be my very first winter off the grid with power directly on the tiny house. Because last year I did not have solar panels on here during the winter. This year I will, and we'll see how everything performs. My PWMs, my batteries, the solar panels themselves. Because apparently, if the solar panels stay nice and cool, and there's still sunlight, the efficiency goes up. Because they lose some efficiency as they warm up. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens in this regard. And maybe we'll have some crazy videos for you guys. So that's it for now, guys. I've been talking for a little bit, giving you some updates on what's going on. And I'll get back to you on the next one, okay? We'll see you on the next one.